Hello, this is Bill Steffen. I hope you're having a great day today. Saturday was a little bit on the chilly side. We had temperatures at mid-afternoon only in the low 30s. And in fact, I remember writing my little summary that I do at midday and writing down a temperature of 12 for a current reading up at Marquette. That was a late morning reading. So this is some pretty cold Arctic air that's come on down. North of about US 10, there's snow on the ground, and between the snow and the frozen lakes, really it doesn't provide a lot of opportunity for the air to really warm up here before it reaches West Michigan. But we'll be a little bit warmer today as winds turn back to the southeast. We will have a chance of rain this afternoon. I think during the morning, most of us will turn out to be dry, but during the afternoon, some rain pushing up from the southwest. Not a heavy rainfall at all, but enough to wet everything down, and you'll need the windshield wipers to work for you here during the late afternoon and evening. That rain will likely change to snow showers here Sunday night into Monday morning. And before they taper off, we probably will see perhaps another half an inch maybe for Grand Rapids, and up toward US 10, there could be an inch or two accumulation from this. It will get windy once again, and boy, hasn't this been a windy month so far. I was talking to my brother down in Chicago, and the first thing he mentioned about the weather is, can you turn off the wind? We've had a lot of days here with wind gusts between 30 and 40 miles an hour. So overall, dry weather patterns expected here for midweek with temperatures moderating just a bit. Weather should be pretty good for anything you got going outdoors here Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Thursday. So let's move on. Take a look at 72-hour snowfall over the next 3 days. It snows quite a bit in Washington State. By the way, I got some information from Mount Baker. Every day I've been showing this tremendous snowfall in the Cascade Mountains, and I checked with Mount Baker there. They have had 13 inches of snow in the last 24 hours and 42 inches of snow in the last 4 days. So that's an average of more than 10 inches per day out at Mount Baker. They're up to, I believe, 533 inches for the winter, which is more than they had all of last winter. At the ski area there, they report their base is 179 to 200 inches. And that's a lot of snow, and they'll be skiing out there for as long as the crew wants to hang around, I'm sure. They have had 127 inches of snow so far during the month of March, and that did not include yesterday. So that's a lot of snow. And you can see the yellow up in the UP. Once again, the old snow magnet up there in the UP, producing a lot of snow. If you look at the scale over on the bottom right, those first orange areas are areas that expect 8 inches of snow. The yellow area is 6 inches of snow, and that even includes a small part of lower Michigan that may pick up on the snow, and this will be mainly Sunday night into Monday. From Cadillac, maybe up toward Mansalona, maybe the southwest edge of Gaylord picking up on that. Sault Ste. Marie is going to get more snow. They're up to 188 inches for the winter so far up at Sault Ste. Marie, and Painesdale's at 286, so they're going to get another 6 to 8 inches from this system. And I would assume that they'll get some snow during the month of April with the pattern that we have here. So that's where we're going to see a lot of snow around here. We have winter storm warnings in effect for a number of counties in the pink color that you see right there. We also have winter weather advisories for the blue counties. In the pink counties, they're expecting 5 to 10 inches of snow. In the blue counties, it'll be more like 2 to 6 inches of snow. And it'll be another windy storm with drifting snow. We expect gale warnings to be in effect for this storm, and some wind gusts up around 40 miles an hour, producing some big waves out there on Lake Michigan and also on Lake Superior. Well, we got lots more to talk about for you, including the 5-day forecast. We'll have that after this word from our sponsors.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
And one more sponsor to thank.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Sounds good. Here's your forecast for this Sunday. Warmer than it was yesterday afternoon. We should reach the mid to upper 40s during the afternoon. Though the wind picks up, I would imagine by mid to late afternoon, we'll be up around 15 to 20 miles an hour once again, with winds turning around to the southeast briefly and then back to the west again as colder air moves back in here during the day on Monday. Humidity levels should drop to about 50 to 55% and then pick up once the rain moves in once again. And a cool start to the day, early Sunday morning temperatures here in the low 20s. So let's take a look then at what's ahead here for us. Some high temperatures for you for this Sunday, up into the mid to upper 40s, could reach 50 down toward the Indiana border. Cooler as you head off to the north. We'll see temperatures only in the upper 30s around Gaylord, mid 30s up in the UP, where there won't be much snow melt going on this weekend. We turn to Monday, and the blue color takes over, and that means lots of cold air over Michigan. We'll see temperatures during the afternoon pretty much stuck in the mid to upper 30s here. That's approaching 10 degrees colder than average for this time of year. And look up in the UP, where temperatures will barely struggle past the freezing mark during the afternoon. Tuesday, another cool day, but not quite as cool. I think we'll see a little bit of sunshine work its way back into the picture here, with temperatures generally in the low to mid 40s during the afternoon. Now, it's probably mid 40s would be a pretty good guess. And it stays cold up there in upper Michigan. So taking a look right now at our 5-day forecast, we will be seeing some PM showers. Sunday night, rain changes over to snow. There'll be some lingering snow showers and flurries. And again, if you're off to the north, Sunday night and Monday, don't be surprised if there's an inch or two accumulating on the grassy areas as you head up north toward Baldwin, Reed City, places like that, and all the way up toward the Mack Bridge. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday look dry. Just a very slight chance of a rain or snow shower here early Tuesday, but most of the time midweek here should be nice. And by the time we get to Thursday, we'll be seeing temperatures back up at around 50 degrees. Latest long-range outlook is interesting. It has a huge bubble of much above normal temperatures here from the southern Rockies back across the high plain states, cooler than average readings in northern New England and also the West Coast plus Alaska. This is an interesting pattern because as heat builds off to our south and with cooler air to the north, that sets the stage for what could be kind of a stormy period. And the 8 to 14-day rainfall outlook, again, this is for pretty much the first week of April, has above average amounts of rainfall here. We always are kind of wary about things warming up too fast here during the springtime because that brings out the blossoms too soon, making them susceptible to frost. And it also makes us more susceptible to severe weather around here. And later today, by the way, I didn't put the slide in, but the Storm Prediction Center expects some severe weather from East Texas east to far western Alabama, a little bit west of Birmingham, and then up into Tennessee. So it's been an active couple of weeks here, and that should stay that way here through the next 2 weeks, through the 8 to 14-day period. All right, Michelle's working at the airport here tonight, but we do have some slides that she has prepared here for everybody. First of all, a historical note, 1913 Easter tornado outbreak, 192 fatalities. And that's noteworthy because this is mostly rural areas of Nebraska, Iowa, and Indiana that were hit by these tornadoes. There were not one, not two, not three, but four F4 tornadoes. When back in the old days, we had F4. Now we have the enhanced Fujita scale, or EF4. But that was a tragic situation and kind of interesting in terms of counting tornadoes here. The next slide will show you a little kind of an interesting report here about tornadoes were likely underreported prior to around 1990. We didn't really have the movie Twister, and we didn't have 100 cars following every dark cloud, which we sometimes do on tornado days now. But an EF0 or F0 or F1 tornado could go across the plain states without hitting a farm and be hardly noteworthy. It happens all the time. I love there's video out there of a wedding taking place, and there's a tornado scooting by in the background. Nobody's paying any attention to the tornado, even though they can all see it. but they just went on with the wedding, which I guess is what you should be doing. Improvements in radar and population increases have helped us better identify and report weaker tornadoes. One of the things we sometimes look at is tornadoes that were rated EF3 and F3 up to EF5, F5, and those would have been reported in the old days, and that shows really no increase in the number of those as we've headed into the recent couple of decades here. Next picture here, we're moving on to basketball. First of all, we'll start with March Madness, the NCAA men's basketball tournament. I watched my share of basketball here, starting out with Michigan during the afternoon with a fairly sizable win over the Aggies of Texas A&M. I think A&M stands for agricultural and mining, if I'm not mistaken, or agricultural and mineral, perhaps. But in any case, a couple of good basketball teams. Michigan came out on top with that one. Wisconsin, well, they were behind by double digits most of the second half, especially here. Came back a little bit at the end, but BYU certainly the better team there, coming in with a 2-point victory. They will move on. And Wisconsin had a good year. Take a look at Wisconsin, Michigan, Michigan State. I think especially Michigan had a better season than everyone predicted. And what a turnaround for Michigan as opposed to what happened last year. So we wish them the best as they move on to the Sweet 16. Michigan State will be playing New Mexico at 8:40 p.m. this evening. So put some popcorn on the stove and or in the microwave and get ready to watch some good basketball games. I would think Michigan State has a good chance of winning that game. And what is New Mexico? Are they the Cowboys? Either New Mexico or New Mexico or New Mexico State. One of the two is the Cowboys. We got Big Ten women's gymnastics. All of my kids did gymnastics. I can hardly do a somersault, so I don't know where that came from. Well, we did have Grandma Ebb bouncing on the trampoline when she was 90 years old, so maybe that's where that came from. UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, finishing number 1. Michigan State second, Michigan fourth, so good showing there, and it was a decent crowd watching as the tournament went on, the championship. But congratulations to Michigan State and Michigan for showing well in gymnastics. We move back to basketball here for a minute, and we got some rather sad news here. Rockford defeated by Belleville, but boy, what a run. Second place, runner-up state in girls basketball division. They had a great season, a lot of wins. Miss Basketball from Rockford this year. I think that's the third year in a row Miss Basketball for the state has been from West Michigan here. So we got some great high school teams here. And for West Catholic, they fell to Tecumseh. That was 54-44. And we wish everybody at West Catholic the best on another absolutely fantastic season. Well, moving on here, we'll take a look at the Whitecaps. Friday, April 4th is the opener. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. I always kind of wonder why they start quite as early as they do, because I know the major leagues are starting already, kind of. And the weather's pretty iffy across the northern U.S. here during the first week of April. In fact, I remember one year, if I remember right, it was 2007, where we hardly got above freezing the whole first week of April. And that was April. I think it was like the first full week of April, which is April like 4 to 8 or something like that. So we wish the Whitecaps the best. I always get there. I think last year I saw 1 or 2 games. The year before that, I think I saw 5. If I can get there, I will do that. So if you see me at the Whitecaps game, say hi. This is World Meteorological Day. The WMO fosters international collaboration for meteorology, climatology, hydrology, that's water, and environmental services. It was established on this date in 1950, so it was established before I was established, which is kind of interesting. World Meteorological Organization is part of the United Nations. They have a theme for this year, by the way, and I think we're dealing with water here. If we can go to the next slide, we can show you that. The theme for World Meteorological Day 2025 is early warnings for disaster mitigation. And let me tell you, the warnings are so much better than they used to be. There were a lot of hurricanes that killed large numbers of people because we just didn't have the warnings that we have today. The warnings are timely. The meteorologists that give them, I think, are awesome. They really are. And we have really, I mean, it's demonstrable that you can see a reduced loss of life, despite the fact that we've increased population quite a bit in the United States. I think I mentioned the Dexter tornado before, which was March of 2012, an EF3 tornado, a fairly long track, and yet there not only were no fatalities, there were no serious injuries with that. So we salute the World Meteorological Organization and all the meteorologists out there that give timely forecasts and warnings. We certainly rely on the National Weather Service for the base of data and their timely forecast updates that they give to us, issuing the watches and warnings and whatnot. Well, on this date in 1857, Elisha Otis installed the first commercial passenger one of these in a New York department store. And I know the answer to that. The answer is the elevator. The elevator is really an interesting piece of machinery. It it allows us to have skyscrapers. I mean, how would a skyscraper be if you didn't have an elevator and you had to walk up all those flights of stairs to the Sears Tower and whatnot? Let's go to the next slide here and tell you a little bit about it. Otis invented the safety mechanism for elevators that prevents the elevator from crashing if the hoisting cable fails. In addition, it made the passenger elevator use possible. So we salute posthumously Elisha Otis for making the elevator for us. In England, it's called a lift, just like a truck is called a lorry. And the salt trucks there are called gritters, as they put grit down on the roads. Otis invented a safety mechanism for elevators that prevents the elevator from crashing if the hoisting cable fails. We mentioned that. And then one more note here. It was installed for, let's try to pronounce this. In my first attempt at doing this, Eder Hallwout's Fashionable Emporium, which sold silverware, china, cut glass, and fine chandeliers. I would not know where to get a chandelier in my neighborhood here. We certainly look around and we don't see the department stores that used to feature all the merchandise. I remember Grand Rapids used to have Wurzburgs, Herpelsheimers, Steckedy's. There was Levine's out in Allendale. There was Jacobson's in East Grand Rapids. And now people get everything from Amazon. They get delivered right to their home and everything. So it's interesting. Hey, we've talked a long time here. One last slide to show you. This is from John Scully, who sends us a lot of nice pictures. That is a jet contrail. That jet is probably, what would you say, 35,000 feet or thereabouts. And that is a contrail, not a chemtrail. They're not dousing us with weird chemicals or anything like that. That's a contrail like that is just water vapor condensing out in the very cold temperatures there as ice crystals, and just a product of condensation, a product of combustion. We get the condensation coming out of the aircrafts there. So once again, thank you so much for coming on board with us here. Have yourself an awesome day, and take care. It's kind of chilly out there, and we got some rain moving in here for this afternoon and tonight.